Awesome. Let's do this.
Hello, everybody. So nice to have you here. I'm doing this presentation for Open Science, and just quick presentation about myself. So my other name is Bahurum, pronounced or are you proper? And I've been junior security researcher at Permito. I've done quite a number of audit competitions, mainly Sherlock and Avat's Finance, also Coloring in the past, and Untitled for bugs. So I've started learning things Web3Sec 2 years ago, something like that, and before I was more interested in crypto from the investing side. I was doing both software development and also some engineering stuff. Yeah. So about if you have any questions, I don't know if you can raise the hand and the misanthropic can let you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better because I can't see the chat from Discord right now.
Awesome. I will just
Be bad.
invite everyone to speak. Don't worry.
Yes. Otherwise, just type the questions. I will answer at the end, but feel free to answer the question right away. So we talk a bit about like my style of auditing, because as I understand, I've not seen many of these episodes from Open Sense, but I understand that it's for sharing how everybody audits and also for people to learn from this. So yeah, I suppose that between you, most of the people are beginners, but maybe there are also some intermediate or more advanced researcher. I will talk mainly about bounties, right? I think I feel that I would. It's better for me to share about bug bounties more than auditing style. I'm not really like methodic auditor in that sense. So
Awesome.
I don't think that it would do that much. But yeah, so choosing targets, methodology, bug leader, exploit, bug classes. There's not anything I would say is not secret, like not you. So there are a lot of people who are more experienced and better than me. Maybe they already explain all of this better, but yeah, I hope that I can help. So the style. They say do what everyone does, get what everyone gets. That's what they say. Oh, that means like if we try not to go where there is too much people, where it's too crowded, which is good. I actually do not do that before because of the like this blue ocean strategy, right to avoid all the where there is too much competition, not because of that, but really because I like to explore my own ideas. I don't like to look too much at other people's work because I feel that it will influence me and also gives like sorts of complex and ask yourself what you're doing is good enough, etc. And what you're doing is like useful and outdated, useless and outdated, etc. But yeah, so usually don't read much audit reports, only if I stumble upon one because there is something interesting for me. Yeah, for example, audit report from audit and return auditing or doing bug bounties. Yeah, but yeah, I don't go out and just read audit reports before sleeping. So don't look at other people's methodologies, but you should. There are lots of videos on this on Open Science YouTube channel. Yeah, but this is bad and good. So bad because you miss out a lot of things from other people, good ideas. You miss general trends. So yeah, it's more a bit less up to date on common bugs, etc. It's good because the original, you concentrate on your own stuff, concentrate on maybe something that nobody else is working on because you just had this original idea or area of work that nobody likes or nobody thinks it's interesting. So that is the uniqueness is destructible value, and so it's more likely to find a unique bug. So actually, I'm still not getting more than everyone else gets, but I like it, so that's fine. About the areas, there are a lot of areas like complex security, which is very nice, so everyone can find its own preferred subjects. So math, interoperability, and economic soundness. That's what I like most to look at. But yeah, I look at every type of bugs, of course.
You know that quote? That quote you put in there, do what everyone does, get what everyone gets, is really strong. Like, this is really like real life, right in your face. And it really comes close to auditing. And I do understand some people say, hey, maybe not look at what other people methodologies, create your own. But really, when you're starting, if you can have, let's say, 10 hours of guidance from watching different videos, I'm quite sure that will help. Maybe for already a very experienced researcher, someone that been in development forever, you don't want to get your mind dirty in that sense, get influenced. But watching a few videos will get you a long way,
Of course. I don't say that you do not look at what's done. On the contrary, I think there is a lot of people who can leverage on that. Most people, but for me, I feel like I started 2 years ago, so I got security plans, got some head stuff.
Really
so
cool.
yeah, I learned. So maybe now I don't feel that I have to look that much at what other people do. But also, I think that I just want to say the truth about how I work, and maybe it's like some people I like they are more they like more to follow their own ideas, and others they like more to work with others on some common, say, research topics. But yeah, I agree that for beginners want to get up to speed very quickly, yeah, you should definitely learn from the best. Because also when I started the work, there were as many security researchers sharing things, and so that came up mostly like 1 year ago. So yeah, that's also a reason probably. Hey, yes, I did security bootcamp then at the time, one of the first to do that. So yeah, I have to say I had to learn of somebody, of course. And so yeah. So so what about bug bounties? What I want to say. So what's bug bounties? Just found the vulnerabilities in live code. So that's already quite different from say audit. So we won't find something that shouldn't be there normally. So what prevents the bug to be there? So good security practices and the good security reviews. These are two things. So basically, development team and the auditors afterwards. And so there are after deployment, there are a bunch of bugs which are live. Okay, there are a bunch of people looking for them, and maybe you. So who are these people? So there are these guys, the verified leaderboard, many more of them. That's the top. And there are some this kind of guys like camera director, which the other side are looking as well. So they both quite skilled. Yeah. So competition could be tough, but it depends. So I say let's start looking for some bugs. You get a problem. There are too many products, many, like hundreds. So what do you do? Maybe you follow your heart. You pick a protocol that you like, fall in love with. So maybe you try to choose more more intelligent, but smarter. So you try to do some targeting strategies to pick your targets. Or you try to have some factors, indicators that they let you bet probability of using some protocol that actually has bugs inside. And there's another approach, which is not to pick a protocol, but to hunt for bug classes. Basically, you don't have an idea what protocol you're going to find a bug in, but you have an idea of what type of bug you want to find. I will explain a bit more about this. So there is not much to say about this because basically you're not following any strategy to choose. So you choose a project that you like, you're curious about, hopefully. You get you'll be motivated because it's you choosing it and you like it. So at the end, even you don't find anything because maybe it's not the most intelligent way to choose, at least you learn something about the protocol you like and it can be interesting and useful for our future, especially if the protocol has cool ideas, good development practices, etc. Oh yeah. And what about targeting? You want to understand before looking at the code where bugs could be already. You want to reduce the number of these hundreds of protocols where you want to reduce your choice. So what stinks bugs is like probably if there's two or less audits or partial audit, meaning that there are many audits, but each audit is only on a small part or not the full protocol, then there could be bugs. If it's audited by bad firm, some we know, others we don't know, because actually there are firms that don't have really bad reputation, but are very bad in my opinion. If there are during the audits only low or medium findings, or like high findings about zero address check or something like that, then quite unlikely that the devs made such a good job. So there should be something in there.
No, I wanna talk about something because it's really spicy, and you just brought it up. With are the secretly bad auditing firms, and it's very interesting because whenever, even if someone is really good, whenever you put them in a situation where it's gonna be them plus 1-2 persons, there's still a lot of room for error, right? And then when you have something like Immunify going on, you have so many people looking at that code. That's crazy. How do you think the auditing firms will keep on existing the way we have them today?
I believe they will keep existing, but the quality of the people inside will increasingly higher.
You think so? Because we don't have these researchers, man. There's not a lot. We don't have 100 good researchers in the world, you know. Okay.
Not yet, but for example, since maybe 2 years ago, when the criteria to get into even good audit, top audit firm were not strict. Now they are getting stricter.
I understand.
You could have previous EVM experience and so on, maybe previous cybersecurity experience. From that side, I see that the requirements for an auditing job are getting higher. I believe that auditors are getting higher, even in audit firms where you don't see usually top talents, or most of the top talents will not be in a regular audit.
I understand.
But still, they have better auditors than in the past, I believe. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. I won't name, but just look at the maybe top 20 most popular firms when you look at the reports. Yeah, you can see trends. Like some firms which are not very popular are actually really good. Like they don't let things pass. And others which are as popular as the ones who are actually really good are really bad. But there's still some asymmetry, knowledge asymmetry, I believe, from the developers and project funder perspective about what marketing and about what actual skills of the auditor. Yeah. So old audit. Actually, this is particular. So all the audits mean old protocols, but at the same time, if it's old, it's battle tested. So there is trade-off there. But as auditor became better and people tend to have more audits now, audit, all the audits are usually worse. So there were more bugs that slip through them. Multi-VL, of course, because Black Hat and White Hat will look both for ITVL projects. It depends what's your thirst for payout, for rewards. And of course, newly deployed code, like less than 1 month, 2 months. Yeah, so that maybe you chose a project now, and I will talk about the bug classes later. You chose the project, and you can follow path, sort of. Or either you audit the project, like normal audit, takes up to more months depending on the project size. There are some elite white hats, I think, that do this. Yeah, maybe they have a lot of effort and time of time spent, reward.
I just keep on. Sorry for the interruption. Just keep on. So we're talking about minimizing the time spent and maximizing the impact. I can see the screen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I can show I will share the presentation PDF later. So yeah. So that's the best approach for me. So like you said, maximize the impact versus time spent. Yeah, because usually one does also some competition and maybe private audits and maybe other things alongside. So don't have that much time to dive into a project. Note that there is some sort of gradient between the two. Yeah, you do some sort of mix platform where you audit fully only some part of the project, etc. Yeah, it's not black and white. So about the maximum approach, impact approach. How I see it, I do something like this. So maybe look at the graph on the right. So understand what the code does from a high-level perspective. Actually, sort of a loop. You understand what the code does, make an hypothesis of on something that can be broken. Then you verify the hypothesis. A different, like I will talk about this later, but different way of verifying. Then, yeah, if you find the bug, great. If you didn't find a bug, it was just hallucination. Then you go back to understand again what the code does, keep understanding, and maybe try to drill on some other possible bug. And you got some knowledge, because when you verify the hypothesis, you will go and look for the code and etc. So you notice maybe stuff. So yeah, this is just same thing. The idea is that when you approach a code base, you should be able to understand things as fast as possible. You don't want to lose time. It's not like an audit where you start from the, for example, base contracts and library and so on. No, you just try to get the big picture and see from the big picture if there are things already that say, oh, that's strange. Let's see how they do it, and so on. So go through the documentation and just a contract, name of the contract, just to understand how each contract is placed respective to the other. not even necessary to look at the code. Then when you have some ideas of where to look, like, okay, I want to look to this contract to see if maybe that could be more difficult to implement. You go and look at the contract and maybe skim through the code rapidly. And if you find something strange, you have maybe an hypothesis, say, okay, this is not, maybe does not sound right. I know that there is these other contracts, and yeah, this is just, I'll say, high level perspective, okay? But yeah, I wanted to explain it like this. So you have this bug hypothesis, and then you verify your bug, and then repeat if it doesn't work. So when you have your bug hypothesis, you have something bug lead. So bug lead is one or more hypotheses that if they're true, then there's something bad. So loss of funds. So when you have the bug lead, you look at the on-chain state, or TVL and so on, to see even if there is this impact, what could it be? You don't want to work on something that actually has no impact. Like you have a bug, you have 0 TVL or $1,000. Don't care so much. You could continue, but at least it's good to know. Then you have to check. When I say you have, actually what I do in this perspective, to check manually, for example, if each hypothesis makes sense. I mean, you could have maybe you have A, B, which are hypotheses which are true, and C, you don't know really. But yeah, make sure that you're not hallucinating C, because otherwise you will be finding yourself working on A and B and say, okay, I will try to test A and B. And then C, when you come to C, you just did work for nothing because you were just up on the sky, did not have any sense. So you look at the code, you do some maybe calculations on paper or whatever diagrams what can help with like have a better idea close to reality of your hypothesis. So you look maybe at on-chain state to verify if sometimes hypothesis can be like, okay, if this value is more than this, and or I don't know if this, what can I say? Look, maybe if this has this address as not only access to this contract, but also has access to another contract, for example, or whatever. So once you have ways to check on paper the hypothesis, you can run tests, but it's better, especially if the attack is complex, just run a small test on each hypothesis, because you don't want to build a huge or big full exploit test without actually like simple tests that all hypotheses are real, because otherwise it will build a bigger test for the exploit, and then it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, then it's difficult to understand what does not work. So you would have to check then separately the hypothesis anyway and see what doesn't work. You should keep in mind the on-chain state. So like say you want to obtain some, how to say, for example, which if there are many pools, which pool you will select to do an exploit or to build the POC. You will select, for example, pool which has maximum TVL, or the pool which is more imbalanced if the problem will get worse if the pool is unbalanced, etc. For example, if you understand what I want to say. I wanted to say something about the test. Yeah, all of this is because a bug lead, maybe 9 times is wrong, 1 time is right, out of 10 times. That's why you want to do all these checks. Otherwise, most of the time, just imagine things and do work for nothing. And if this process will probably make you go and look at on-chain code and on-chain state and all kinds of interactions and so on. Actually code in the POC. So actually we learn a lot of stuff doing this. So even if the bug lead is false, it can be useful for further understanding of the code. So we note down things along the way. Once you have the POC and it works, just ask yourself if it's the best, it's the maximum impact. Because say you break an invariant, when you break an invariant, usually you can do all sort of bad stuff. So you should not, for example, content yourself or be satisfied, for example, with a POC which steals only part of the funds. If your POC steals only part of the funds, it could be suboptimal. Okay, so you should ask yourself what is the special thing that means that I can only steal part of the funds and not everything. So ask yourself if that can be maximized or you reach the maximum. Because otherwise there could be maybe difference between $10,000 bounty versus $20,000 bounty, for example. You should check for the same bug on forks or even similar contracts to some extent, because otherwise you will submit the bug, and then I say maybe the project you submitted to knows that there are forks of their project, and they tell them. So maybe you will not get credit and you'll not get any rewards on the forks if they have a bug bounty problem. But make sure to check if there are forks of the code where you found bugs. And if there are many projects or even one project, you just contact them. Disclosure. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope this is clear.
It's pretty clear, bro.
Things are new. Okay. Right. So what about you don't start from the code, or at least don't start from precise or exact protocol that you choose. You start from bug ideas. Okay. So someone said, do not hunt for bugs, hunt for bug classes. And that's actually very smart. The idea is that, actually it could work even better, because they did just brainstorming about any kind of implementation or libraries or like interfaces or EIP, something you have in mind, and think about what about this, what about that. Maybe there is one protocol or implement that EIP but also does this. Say there is this protocol who interacts with this oracle but also want to do this, then maybe they can have a problem if they're not.
So the difference is instead of looking for a rounding error, I could look for specific rounding behaviors that I could have in that protocol and try it. It's not so clear for me the difference between hunting the bug and hunting the bug class,
Yes. Sorry. No link in there. Oops. Yeah, I did some examples. I add some examples. Maybe actually this is quite fresh. Just to have a link, one example, just so that you have an idea. For example, is him who said, okay, I found multiple vulnerabilities in voting gas growth projects. So he found the same vulnerability on multiple projects. What does that mean? I don't know how did the the guy found this. Okay, but maybe you say something. Yeah. So, but the idea is that maybe it just goes and studies, for example, voting escrows, okay, and writes down some pitfalls, or say, okay, this can be dangerous if it's not done properly, okay, and then look at all the protocols or which have this integrate this voting escrow contract, I believe,
Awesome.
which is originally from Curve Gauge or something like that, and then say, okay, let's check. Does this protocol do this correctly, and so on, until maybe it has a list of protocols that have actually do this not correctly. Oh yeah, but maybe I can explain it a bit more. I understand that can be a bit general. So the implementation of the idea is to look for potential pitfalls in using an the implementation of widely used logic. Okay. The integration with widely used protocols. For example, classic example is oracles. Okay. You integrate with an oracle, but you don't take more. Like, I don't know.
Flash laws too, right?
For example, if you don't check, for example, if the pool is manipulatable, if there are reentrances, read-only reentrances, these are old examples, right? For example, you take a pool feed from virtual price, this classical example from a core pool, and it suffers read-only reentrances. So in your integration, you don't put no read-only reentrance check with core, then yeah, the virtual price can be manipulated. Okay, so this is an example. Another example could be all kind of false assumptions on maybe no. For example, for example, there was this. I don't have the example. It would take some time to explain, but there is, for example, on Uniswap. On Uniswap, there is Uniswap v3 when there is a swap. Actually, the approval of the router will not take all of the approval from the user. So the user will say swap A, swap 1A for 1B, example. But the router will not always swap 1A, will not always take only the full 1A. Maybe it takes 0.9A, depending on some input to the swap file. So maybe it is a bit more obscure things that you understand and that you notice when study particular widely used protocols, which you think can be a problem. You think that some developers could overlook, and even some auditor. I hope I am clear. And so that when they are implementing and integrating with this, there could be an error. Okay. So usage of Solidity or assembly. Oops. So I have another example here. Again. And here. So this is from Milot. And this is really simple. Just to have an example. Said, okay, that's strange for me. When you put a return inside an assembly, okay, I thought that it's like a return outside the assembly. Okay, so if you have, for example, a return in an assembly block, which is inside an internal function, it's not that it returns the value as an output to the internal function. It's return Opcode on the EVM, so it stops execution and returns to the caller contract, right? So that's an example, and it says, yeah, I found some bugs with this, and it's submitted to Immunify. We started from the idea, studying the Solidity and assembly, and said, wait, if I did this, if I thought it was like this, maybe even also other people thought this. And yeah, I went to check, and that was the case. So the usage of libraries, so the third world bugs, for example, which I think you know. And yeah, this is also pretty right. Let's see this. Yeah. Yeah. Good example just found something. Yeah, not just, but just disclosed something about the implementation of ERC 1271. And yeah, I didn't go into the details of this, but it found it in 15 different protocols. So again, I don't know if we found it in one particular protocol and then he went to look for all possible implementation where you have these bugs. But these are all examples where you actually have an idea or a bug which is independent of the protocol, right? It can be found independently, and this stems from an idea. Okay. Just to say that you do not need to hunt on a particular project. You can simply hunt for.
That assembly bug was really interesting. So the case there is that whenever I'm returning a assemble code from internal
assembly,
from a internal function, the return is not the return is casted somehow.
Yeah, I mean, just because when you have a return side, the assembly block, right? The return syntax word is the same as return outside the assembly block.
I see.
Right? But it doesn't work the same way because inside is the Opcode return.
I see.
So it just stops execution of the code, and outside is return of solidity. So, for example, inside an internal code, the solidity return would return the value and resume the call to the internal code. So maybe an external function that calls the internal function. But the assembly return will just stop execution. So, for example, everything else inside that contract will not be executed, right? Yeah.
Interesting, bro.
That was an example. So again, some few things on this. Yeah. Yeah. If you go this way, this path, you have there are tools that can help once you have an idea, something like, okay, someone could have implemented this incorrectly and lead to problems. You have all these tools to identify this, maybe to look for projects that could have this problem, maybe just a problem about the implementation of liquidations. Then you look at all lending protocols. And this is a problem of, for example, solidity or assembly pattern that you look at except for code. Or even if it's an integration problem, you can use the on-chain analytics to look for all calls to particular let's say the Uniswap or an Oracle, etc. So you can see every contract that calls this, and I can say, okay, how does this contract do this? How does this contract do this? And see if there are any contracts that do this incorrectly. So yeah, you check every contract manually once you have shortlisted sort of potential problematic contract. And yeah, if you're lucky, you have those people who are showed to you, yeah, you can submit the same bugs to several projects. So yeah, it was actually also Trust who found something of this kind, I believe, but never looked into it. And it's submitted to 10 to 20 projects at the same time. So yeah, it works. Yeah, just adding some bonus, just some ideas that I finished with the rest. Yeah, there are bugs that can be found without it. So for example, deployment error, configuration bugs. So there was this, for example, conic finance exploit. It's just misconfiguration of key or addresses, etc. between several contracts, wrong assumptions. I won't go into details, but if you know this, for example, maybe through the more popular exploit. External dependency bugs. So there can be bugs in external dependencies that you depend on. So nothing to do about this with audits. And of course, there are all bugs that are outside audit scope. So partial audits in particular. Protocol gets 2 audits. One is for one audit firm on one part of the protocol, and then after 2 months they developed another part of the protocol, and they give that to another audit firm, maybe because they didn't like the first one. And yeah, there is some space left in between the two to some bugs or some bugs to sleep side. So yeah, thank you. Feel free to ask questions.
Awesome, bro.
Right now.
Awesome.
And after that, if you have some time and patience or whatever, you can tell me a protocol, and we can just see it live a little bit and maybe
do some live auditing.
Sort of.
Awesome. So, one question that I have here is from JuniorNet. He's asking, one of the protocols I submitted a bug for simultaneously runs an audit by a famous firm. The day I submitted the bug is the same day they released the report. Quite obvious, like running audits and bug bounties in parallel. How to handle those situations? I guess he's asking regarding how to trust your submissions.
The day you submitted the report, it's the same. Like that's pretty, unfortunate coincidence, meaning that because if you submitted the day before, then I believe that, for example, in Immunify, according to the terms of Immunify, this would maybe be rewarded, but still not sure if because protocol would see that as the project would see that as part of injustice, because even if the report from the audit firm was not released yet publicly, probably they knew the bug since 1 month before, right? So if they knew the bug, if it's not something that they learn through you, it's difficult, they want to pay, right? And that I've seen that at my expense. Even if a bug is live, even if there is funds at risk, but you come after someone else who already say to them, they tend not to pay you. So I don't know. Just discuss with the Immunify or the bug bounty platform where you submitted the bug, because I see that that could be a difficult situation.
Awesome. I have no problem. Amazing answer. I have another question here. What is your opinion on AI eventually replacing security researches and bug bounty contests?
I believe there is at this point not really an issue, not really a concern, but I don't know much about the status of development of AI capabilities. But this time, currently, AI lacks precision, meaning that you can't do, it's like you have large language models, which are do not have mathematical thinking, sort of. They have sort of, but it's not really mathematical. So until you don't get that, I don't think that they will replace people, but they can help auditors. For example, I've seen that could be interesting is writing tests and variants and variant tests and so formal verification scripts, so they can help. Maybe in maybe in 2 years, something will change. I believe for 2024 we're still good, but maybe 2025 something will change. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, there will always be 0 days to be found by real researchers. But yeah, if stronger and stronger AI comes out, the part of like known bugs would be delegated to AI.
That's very interesting. Everybody that I invited to speak, feel free, guys, to open your mic and participate, make questions and everything. Okay. I have another question here from our friend H, and he's asking, have you ever caught any bugs running FV tools or more advanced tools for fuzzing like Acna and Medusa? What are your takes on when it comes to bug bounties? What would you say that Foundry would be enough? So should you be using fuzzing, just Foundry?
Yeah, I did some fuzzing, but did not catch on live protocols. Didn't catch anything. But I believe that not formal verification on live protocol. I don't know if they do this currently. But I believe that anyway you will have to have some pretty good understanding of the protocol. Yeah, except for maybe for some. No, because when you have fuzzing, you try to define. There are people who are working, I believe, pretty hard on this. On people work in development of fuzzing tools, especially for invariant testing and invariant testing, and you have a high level invariants like which do not even, or even they can even not depend on the protocol. Like say, you set up an invariant that says this if you have an account which has all type of tokens in it, and you run a fuzz test on invariant test on all types of integration, with an invariant being that the value of token all held by the account which interacts with the protocol would not increase more than, say, sort of threshold, or which indicates sort of an exploit, no matter what types of combination inputs and order given to the function of the protocol when calling the function of the protocol. So that's a very general invariant, for example. So you don't need to know the protocol, but then you have less general invariants. Say, for example, if you have a lending protocol, you don't want to have bad debt, and if you are more than an amount of bad debt, you have an AMM, you want to respect the curve invariant of the curve,
Awesome.
etc. So and then you can define this even finer level invariant which are on single function, etc. I mean, probably with fuzzing and the higher level invariants, we tend to disappear. Yeah, but finer level invariants will still be there, unless the protocol has a lot of in-depth fuzz test to it.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, amazing answer, and makes total sense. I have another question. Go on.
If I may, just a follow up on this answer. First of all, thanks for being like so detailed. But the thing is with fuzzing and all those formal verification tools is I have the feeling that the same time that they can be very helpful, you can also end up spending a lot of time working on them and you may not find anything. So I was trying those tools lately, and for me, it was taking a lot of time compared to the manual verification. And I wonder, like, if it's really optimal to use those tools, especially for bug bouncing, because you don't have those deadlines. You have this, let's say, you can organize yourself and you have the time that you need, but then still it might be a problem if, let's say, if you don't find anything and then you spend like 2 weeks on building those scenarios and running those tools.
Very risky.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, thank you. I said, yeah. Anyway, you would have to have some pretty good knowledge of the code, the protocol, before passing it. Because anyway, then you have to understand the exploit, how it works. You know, even if the parser finds some exploit, you have to reverse engineer the result. Sort of. I don't know if there is a technical term for that, but yeah, I believe that more as time goes on, yeah, project would want to have more and more parsing tests, and also bug hunters will start to do more and more parsing. Especially that, as I said, there are people who are working on this, and especially on making the user experience of parsing better. And about the question, the previous question, yeah, he asked me, Foundry is enough. I believe Foundry could not be enough by the benchmark that I see around from people who are specialized on fuzzing, and probably should best go for Echidna or Medusa. Maybe Medusa is the simple to learn and most effective right now. And as I say, there are Antonio Vigiano and, for example, Gallo, Alex, the entrepreneur, who are, for example, working on this, among others.
I see. Yeah. So just one last question from my side. Then you would say, for your approach, usually you just go then with manual review for those bug bounties, and then in the end, if you feel that you need some fuzzing, like with Foundry, then you would add it. What is your current approach for finding those, let's say, those mediums and high issues on Immunify, for example?
I did, as I said, I didn't find any actual any bugs with fuzzing. Okay, I know that people found those, but I believe this is still a very small percentage of total bugs found, and I don't use fuzzing well, really, I try sometimes, like, say, okay, just throw fuzzing at this. For example, using EasyFuzz, which minimal setup fuzzing, EasyFuzz from Fuzzland. And yeah, so but other than that, I tend not to do fuzzing. I tend to understand the protocol more. Yeah, so I'm not between the people who are trying fuzzing for bug bounties.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One question from our friend MK. He's asking, do you have any strategies for targeted low-level bug hunting, such as in assembly? You huff so lady. Currently, I rely on code exploration in the hope of discovering low-level bugs and auditing.
Yeah, I don't think that I found any low-level bugs in low-level code. Let me think about it. At least not in bug bounties. No, not in bug bounties. But what would be my approach? I don't usually look much at. I usually don't look much at low-level code when doing bug bounties. I try to go more high level, like interaction between function and so on, data flow.
Yeah.
More than, yeah. So I'm sorry, I can't really tell my experience on that because I don't have any.
And also, you don't see a lot of low-level code. The things you see are usually very well tested. You don't see a lot of. So if people are trying things with low-level code, they better understand what they're doing.
I don't. Yeah, usually there is, except for some projects, most projects do not use low level. They don't use assembly, except for a library. Maybe you could find it more in libraries and stuff like that, which I usually don't specialize in. Usually I don't look much at libraries, nor a lot of code. So sorry, I don't know your name, but yeah, I hope that I could
Okay.
have answered this, but I can't help.
No problem, bro. I mean, if you have
Do you have any other question about the stuff I talked about? Maybe. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think, I mean, if you have the time, let's dive into some code. Maybe open something on Immunify, and let's take a look.
If the people from the audience, want to ask something,
You guys have more questions?
no, about if they can select the protocol, and we
Awesome. So what do you guys? Let's choose one from the list there. I think you know the auditing wizard, the tool, audit wizard.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, we can maybe go through them because we can select using the UI, and it's just faster for us to dive into the code, see the files. You don't have to download anything. Yes.
I don't usually use it, sorry, but yeah.
No problem, but it's a really...
I actually, I have seen it. I've seen it a few times. I found it neat. But yeah, so they...
Click on try, go up.
Try.
Yes. You're going to have to log in with Google. If you don't want to disclose your email, just close your screen for a second. I know maybe you don't need to log in. But...
I mean... Okay, great. Bounties, for example. So Bounties. There's only ads final.
It's strange.
They don't have the Unify. Maybe I have to log in. I don't know. But I only see the finance, angle. Yeah.
Let's go ahead. No problem.
But if anybody, yeah, if anybody does some, maybe these projects on Immunify or whatever, otherwise I can use some.
What about we go through Heads Finance and pick one of the projects there?
This one?
Yes.
Heads Finance itself. I know these are bug bounties on Heads Finance. I know them. I know the actual bug bounties on every platform.
Nice.
So I have to right. Okay, I have to log in. Okay. Oh.
If you don't want to disclose your email, just close your screen, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
So I wondering about it. I have one.
Go on.
So I actually don't think that I will live with as per our president. I think all the people that are doing are all concerned about isn't how they for it, and I don't think that they yet have a threat. I will think we should be more focused on using AI for it. Because on bug bounties research tends to take a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should be more focused take over or not. Don't think.
So you don't think that AI is there to replace us yet?
That we're still early in stage because as we can see how hard that are. I don't think the number of the the extent of being. I think we still have a margin, but working out. But I'm not sure that this AI is helping us all the time. How an AI would
Awesome input, bro.
so more questions might come through that.
Any questions, people?
Yeah.
They're shy today.
Oh, I hope they are fine. Not that I made them.
Awesome.
So,
Bold.
so it means I am inside. What about? Yeah. Oh. So this is new to me. So I just improvising about this.
No problem.
About the audit wizard interface. That's fine. So yeah. For example, so okay, say I want to audit this, right? Say there is a bug bounty, certain amount, high critical, etc. Or for example, Vault. Go straight into Vault. Like okay, say these are the funds are here. Okay? They like withdraw deposit function. Okay, basically any Vault has two functions: withdraw, deposit. Where value goes in, value goes out. If I can find this. Okay, so there's this one. There's somewhere else. It must have been memorable. Okay, it's another contract.
Probably go headmaster.
I don't know. I will do this here. Yes, probably.
It's 2 files above.
Just yeah. Nice. Okay. So okay. So maybe check what I would do. Check how the withdraw function works. Actually, I know this. I mean, I already audited this, so I know safe. This is the Ads Finance version 1 contracts. So the vault for the bug bounty programs of Ads Finance. But yeah, what I would do is put another protocol or a protocol I don't know. Check withdrawal, for example, see emergency withdrawal. When you have something like emergency, just check that does things properly. Okay. Will not go into much of the details. I'm just yeah.
There's some really like when we look at these quotes, we see them and we know they're kind of battle tested, but still there's a bunch of questions, because when we look at withdrawal, we know we're dealing with shares, and then we're seeing multiplications and divisions, and that's usually when you have some strange, weird problem, that you're gonna catch through some invariant. Also, you have a pool ID, and then comes the question: who can create the pools? What is the system behind it? And we use a pool with a really strange ID. Can I cast the ID somehow? But those are still really basic, and I would say even stupid questions, But I don't know how.
No.
I mean, do you usually make these questions to yourself? What is your process there?
I make questions to myself. I mean, of course, there are many, say, stupid questions, but among those questions, you will have some stupid questions, say that at the end is not so stupid. So, yeah, you ask yourself questions. For example, you ask yourself about the ID. Okay, this is what happens if I send them, I don't know,
two IDs the same, right? Or zero.
Let's say something like that, or say you send 0 or a random ID, something like that doesn't exist. Actually, a pool that has never been created. What happens? So, for example, I believe it won't give anything because just you have user info, user, which comes from user info mapping from the ID, pool ID. If the pool did not exist, probably this would be 0. Anything inside would be 0, and the amount will be 0. You won't be able to withdraw more than 0. Okay. Yeah. For example, for this at least doesn't seem to be an issue. And so for this function doesn't seem to be an issue. Things that you can pretty quickly. But yeah, that's a legitimate question. For example, sometimes you see not entrant, you say, so why they put not entrant? So you expect maybe to be some for reentrance could not be in this function, but maybe in another one inside the contract.
And also what I see a function there on line 244 called safe transfer reward. I mean, the developers are the one calling it safe, you know. We don't know if it's actually safe. Yeah. So don't get fooled by this definition.
Yes. Yeah, of course. So what does it do? Safe transfer rewards. Yeah, looks like it just transfer with a cap to the maximum, to the balance of the address. Yeah, that's what I mean by safe. So yeah, sometimes they put safe or similar, while it's just name. Yeah, doesn't mean that it's safe. It could be an issue. The issue could be there. So what? I would go about the deposit and withdraw function. See if you can actually deposit and withdraw through other functions. So see, for example, this seems to contain the amount, balance of the users are here on this user amount. Maybe check for all the instances of this, okay, where it is modified. I don't know if there is a more intelligent way to do this, but something like this, okay. Let's see where this mapping is modified with the amount. See if there is other places where you can modify the balances. Some strange function, for example, before I've seen emergency withdrawal or something like that. I won't go into details, but that's another idea. They see that, for example, I'm just doing a bit of freestyle. I did not.
Nah, it's okay, bro. You're doing super good.
You see pending, okay? So you will have to say, okay, there is something pending, right? So maybe I can skip this pending period. Why it is pending? Okay, so this looks like it goes with this modifier. That's what probably does not allow you to call the function while it is pending or not pending. I don't know exactly what it does, but at the same time there is not only committee. So what this committee is an external address which you could not call in any way. So maybe rules out the whole function. When you have this only owner and so on, pretty much that difficult that you will find bugs through that function.
And also,
it's not an entry point.
There's some interesting things in there, you know, because when they are dealing with severity, it seems like it's a free number, you know, I don't see any sort of structure being applied to severity, which means, can I create some sort of really high severity and automatically downgrade everything, you know? Or what happens if message sender, what happens if the beneficiary is a smart contract? I mean, once again, those are really stupid questions, but some people will be able to see this on a much higher level. But I guess this is the way you do it.
Maybe just, yes, exactly. This you can go and ask yourself. The important is to understand when you have questions versus lower level questions. Lower level, you maybe a high level, see just which contract you have, and suppose what each contract does, and say, okay, so I'm gonna look at the vault. Probably what then say, okay, what's the name? This is some approval claim. I don't know what it does. Maybe check later. Sorry, this is only governance. Probably not worth checking. See?
Yeah.
Because you want to find bugs which are actually exploitable.
Yeah.
Not bugs that you could find in an audit, like say, if for mistake the governance does this in this particular case, or say something which can be, triggered by governance, can be an exploit, right?
Yeah.
So this is pretty much that.
Really, this is really fun to do in groups and really boring to do as one person. How do you deal with that? Do you prefer to work in teams? Do you prefer to work by yourself?
Boring, but yeah, it depends. Yes, function like this is not exciting to look at, but yeah, I usually do it myself. I never do it in teams. I never, even when I'm in team, it's nothing.
By
I
yourself.
really don't look at the code with another person, two people together looking at the same time, like this, like as we are doing. Did it a few times, but yeah, I usually do it myself.
How do you deal with severity? How do you deal with severity in the sense that, there are bugs that can be considered high but won't take any money. How should we
Yes,
approach those?
For example, you stack fund, temporarily stack fund, etc. I actually think bugs that can't create loss of funds, don't make any loss of funds, are actually quite interesting, because at the same time you won't have any exploit by black hats. But for example, say, don't know, let's say Iron Bank, never seen this, but for example, go there and you see where are they direct sales, permanent managed, protocol insolvency, permanent freezing, temporary physical funds of 1 hour. Okay, say you find this is a high, but I mean, if this is a bug that exists, any black hats are not interested at all on this. So, but anyway, you get paid how much? 40,000. So, I mean, that's good money. You don't have the competition of the black hats, and it's really good money. So I think these are really good bugs to specialize in. Yeah, if you'd like to go down on the details and how mechanism works, like in this particular case, maybe you can find this bug, but it comes up in a particular case, so maybe preconditions, so maybe you don't get the full 40,000, but you get maybe 10,000 or 20,000, but still good. I mean, interesting. I can argue that at the same time, since there are no loss of fund, the project is less willing to pay you. But if you are on Immunify, usually you're covered. So I think these are pretty good type of bugs to look at, especially if you want to avoid competition of black hats and like go for the worst bugs. Would be harder to find. This may be a bit easier. And yeah, maybe it's a bit more difficult to demonstrate that it's actually bad thing and to obtain the good reward in exchange. It's good.
Can you see if you understand the question from Codex? I just sent a question. I didn't quite understood it. I mean, it's on Discord.
Yes, you have said that you already audited many of the code bases in bug bounty. Was that ever a case where you found a bug in a bounty for the code base you've already? No, you didn't. I mean, when I said that I know all. I mean, I scroll so many times the list of bounties from Immunify and ArtFinance, Finance, etc. That I know which bounties are there, which are not.
Awesome
Yes.
stuff.
I didn't say that, and also I look is of Immunify.
Awesome, brother. I
Heard
mean,
of the bounties, but I didn't audit all of any of this. Maybe yeah, maybe actually this I audited, really, but and yeah, but and maybe few others, but no, I didn't find from what I feel. From the rewards point of view, because the project will not be willing to pay you if you already audited the same code that you found a live bug site.
awesome. I think Junior's,
That is writing.
yes, Junior's coming with question and code. Thank you so much for taking your time, bro. Ever into hack and proof? No offense.
Ever into hack and proof? Yeah. I actually didn't. I heard some bad, bad things about hack and proof. So I'm a bit. Yeah, I did not submit.
Awesome.
Never actually even found some sort of bugs in there, but I don't know. I but not a high severity, so not really important. So just didn't submit. Maybe low or something. Just didn't submit because I didn't care. I actually did not find through the platform. I found it.
Now go on, please.
Actually did not find inside up going through hack and proof. I found it on chain, like jumping from one contract to another, etc. And I found the bug inside a protocol, and I said, okay, let's see what protocol is this, and it has a bug bounty. That the bug bounty, but the bug is not really important, so I never submitted the bug there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Brother, I guess, don't know if you have anything else to add. I mean, I took already a lot of your time. I want to thank you so much for coming. You have any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to show us?
Yeah, maybe just 5 minutes, because what I wanted to just show how I do things, like inside how I do it. It's not very sophisticated, but say you get some. I go look at the script run. Okay, it's an AMM. Do you like AMM? Yes, I do. If you do not like, maybe skip and go to the next one. And look at if they have some audit. What are the audit? One stamp, okay, average. For example, how much time? So since December 2021, that's updated more than 1 year ago. Okay, probably nothing to find here, but who knows? Okay, they have only critical, high. They don't, yeah, only critical. probably not worth it. But okay, just for the sake of because I'm on this page and want to change. Maybe start from what I do is start from the like exchange. I suppose it is the exchange logic or pool, something like that. Looks like. Go on. Look at bit of kind of contract. If you have something like reward contract, you have some libraries. So means the code is quite big. Libraries mean the logic is quite complex. You have to go through a lot of logic, probably. You have some governance if you're into that. I mean, just stuff and you throw and you get into something and try to undig some bugs. Basically looking at what things that leak something. Like, okay, there is an exchange, there is a governance, there is whatever. There is farming, of liquidity tokens probably. There is escrow. You know what's this? Seems pretty regular. Maybe if you get some experience with AMM and farming and governance, go in and try some ideas of what you learn, right? And good luck. That's basically how you do it. It's not magic.
Awesome.
And, yeah, I actually do to the blockchain explorer. So maybe just build the main contract, go through the main functions are there, try to find something. But yeah, so I believe I just took more time than expected. I actually enjoyed this.
Me too, bro.
I expected to take half of the time, but yeah, talking. I found myself talking a lot, and props to all the people who are still listening. Right, congratulations. And I like people who are saying that they like the talk. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I think I do not have much to add.
Awesome.
And, yeah, I mean, I'm not the type of these people who did a lot of success on this, but
It's coming, man.
out pretty well. It's fine. Yeah, and if you appreciate what I had to say, thank you.
Everybody, please go.
See you, everyone. Thank you very much, Misanthropic.
Everybody, please go and follow our friend Bahurum on Twitter. And you heard his words. It's not magic. It's hard work. Thank you so much for coming. It's a very insightful. People will love this talk. And feel free to come anytime you want, okay?